Okay, we stopped with the cranial nerve assessment. Next, we can move on to the next part, that is motor function assessment. In that, we have to assess the muscle size, muscle strength, muscle tone, gait and posture, and involuntary movements. So, what is muscle size? That is, the patient is instructed to walk across the room while the examiner observes the posture and gait. The muscles are inspected and palpated if necessary for their size and symmetry. Then next is muscle strength. Muscle strength is tested by assessing the patient's ability to flex, extend the extremities against resistance by 5-point scale to rate the muscle strength. So how we will check the muscle strength? By that means the assessing the patient's ability to flex or extend the extremities against resistance. So the grading is important. Tomorrow I will ask. Definitely the muscle strength grading 0 by 5, that means no muscle movement. 1 by 5 visible muscle movement but no movement at the joint. 2 by 5 movement at the joint but not against gravity. 3 by 5 movement against gravity but not against added resistance. 4 by 5 movement against resistance but less than normal, and 5 by 5 normal strength. Okay, then next regarding a word about the muscle tone. Muscle tone means tension present in a muscle at rest. And muscle tone can be evaluated by palpating various muscle groups at rest. And during passive movement, resistance to these movements is assessed and documented. And mainly the muscle tone abnormalities are whether the muscles are flaccid or rigid. That you have to assess whether the muscle tone, the abnormalities flaccidity and rigidity. That you have to assess. Muscle tone means the tension present in a muscle at rest. Sometimes the muscles are very stiff and rigid, and otherwise sometimes the flaccid muscles you can observe in various patients with neurological disorders in clinical settings. Then next we can move on to the sensory examination. So in that you have to assess the peripheral sensory function and cortical sensation. Okay, peripheral sensory function, the light touch, that means use wisp of cotton to touch the skin lightly on both sides simultaneously. Test several areas on both the upper and lower extremities and ask the patient to tell if there is any difference from side to side or other strange sensation the patient feels. Next, the ability to identify the sharp sensation or pain. Ask the client to say sharp or dull when something sharp or dull is felt on the skin. Touch the client using random location, different locations. You have to give some sensation, sharp or dull sensation, and ask. Then next, testing stereognosis. For that you can give an object to the patient and ask the patient to identify it. Then next is graphesthesia. So you can write a number or anything in the hand and ask the patient to say what you have written. Then next we can move on to the and along with that there are some more thing, that is I think the 2-point discrimination. For 2-point discrimination, in the initial the articles needed, in that you have seen 2 cotton stick, and with that you can place it on different areas and ask the patient how many areas you touch. And for vibration you have to place the tuning fork, vibrate and to place it over any bony prominences and ask whether the patient feels that vibration. And the position sense you have to check, ask the patient to place the finger upward, then ask where it is placed, and downward, and where it is placed. So if the patient response is downward, then good sensation. Next is cerebellar function. We are assessing the balance and coordination. So for balance, we are assessing Rombach's test and tandem walking, standing on one foot, and fine motor test that include that finger to nose test, finger to finger test, finger to thumb, and heel to shin test. Okay, next we can move on to the reflexes. Reflexes means stimulus response activity, and deep tendon reflex and superficial reflex are there. So biceps reflex, triceps brachioradialis, patellar reflex, Achilles tendon reflex, and Babinski reflex, and superficial reflex include corneal reflex, pupillary reflex, gag reflex that already checked, swallowing reflex, abdominal reflex, and chiasmatic reflex. So what is this biceps reflex? The patient's arm should be partially flexed at the elbow with the palm down, and place your thumb or finger firmly on the biceps tendon. Strike your finger with the reflex hammer. Look for contraction of the biceps muscle and slight flexion of the forearm. Okay. Then next is testing the triceps reflex. You all are familiar with this checking of reflexes. So I am moving fast. So you can see and learn from this slide. So I am moving to the next. So this is checking of biceps, then triceps, then brachioradialis. That is, have the patient rest the forearm on the abdomen or lap. Strike the radius about 1 to 2 inches above the wrist. Watch for flexion and supination of the forearm. Then patellar reflex checking, you can read. Have the patient sit with the knee flexed. Strike the patellar tendon just below the patella. Note the contraction of the quadriceps muscle and extension of the knee. Then testing Achilles tendon reflex with the client in sitting position. Dorsiflex the foot at the angle and strike the Achilles tendon, and watch and feel for plantar flexion at the angle. And next to the plantar reflex checking, listen in the diagram or see the diagram from where that starts. Okay, from the heel to the toes. Okay, that you have to follow. All the students doing it wrong, so kindly see it. Stroke the lateral aspect of the sole of each foot with the end of a reflex hammer or key, and observe for plantar flexion of the foot. So you can see the normal reflex and abnormal reflex in this picture. So this is abdominal reflex testing pattern. Use a blunt object such as key or tongue blade. Stroke the abdomen lightly on each side in an inward and downward direction. Note the contraction of the abdominal muscle and deviation of the umbilicus towards the stimulus. So reflexes scale for grading, that the 4 means very brisk, hyperactive with clonus, and brisker than average 3 plus, possibly but not necessarily indicative of disease. 2 plus, that means average or normal. 1 plus, somewhat diminished or low normal, and 0 that indicates no response. So once again, 0 that means absent, 1 plus or plus that indicates hyperactive, 2 plus normal, 3 plus hyperactive without clonus, 4 plus hyperactive with the clonus. So this type of grading you can see in the chart. So I am putting here 1 plus, that means that indicates this hyperactive reflex. So study the grading also. Okay, fine. Thank you. That's all for today. And next class, we can see the abnormalities in neurological assessment. So in that, we can see the decerebrate posturing and decorticate posturing and of the abnormalities of the cranial nerves and all. So study well and come for the next class. All the best to all. Thank you.